welcome back to Ireland. So, it's a new day. The last day we did the potato harvest and got that all done. So today we need to get that field good and sorted, ready for the next crop. So, I've had to think about it, and what I'm thinking we should do is, currently 29 is split into halves. Now, I want to plant some sunflowers in that field. I'm thinking we'll just turn it into one big field because we don't actually own any big fields, and if we join them two together it will be a pretty big field. Rather than it split in two, we will get it put into one, and then it'll be basically one big field, as I've just said. Looks like the eggs are doing really well. That's getting pretty full. I'll have to empty that soon. But the first job, we are going to head up to the shop and we're going to change this plough because I really despise these ploughs, and we're going to change it for a subsoiler. It does exactly the same thing as a plough in Farming Sim, but the one that we're getting is a 6 metre one, so it will do a lot better for us than this thing will. So we'll head up to the shop, get this sold, get that purchased, and then we can get this field joined up and get the bottom half of it ploughed, ready for the new crop. But for the first time we're actually going to use the cultivator as well, because we've not actually used the cultivator since the beginning of this series, and we're going to get the entire field cultivated and then seeded with sunflowers. That is a plan for today. We'll see how long that takes, and then depending on how long that takes, we'll get on with doing something else. We may even buy another field because we have got 190,000, so we may be able to afford another field. We'll have to have a look, but we'll get this field done first and see where we're at, and then take it from there. So I'm going to get up to the shop and we'll see you in a moment. And we're here. I think the first job is get this thing sold and get rid of it. Don't get me wrong, these ploughs are okay, they're alright, but I do much prefer the subsoilers. It is my preferred choice. We need to repair it first, and then we'll sell it, and that's 10,000 back in the bank. So, the subsoiler we're after doesn't actually come under a subsoiler. It does come under a plough, but it is a subsoiler. It's the Lizard 6 metre, 17,000. We'll keep it in red, then it matches the Massey, because it's going to be the Massey mainly that uses it. So we will buy that. There we go. I do use this in my other Let's Plays. It is just a good subsoiler in general. Get it hooked up. There we go. And fold it so we can drive down the road. All good. Right. Let's get back to the farm. And then once we got back to the farm, we'll be able to get that field joined up, then ploughed. Now, I know the little road down the middle of the two fields is quite handy for parking your equipment on and what have you, but there's plenty of space around the field to be able to park us equipment and what have you, so I'm not going to worry too much about losing it. I do think the field will be more beneficial to us as one field rather than split into two individual fields. My personal opinion, guys may disagree, but I just think it's the best way forward for that field, just to make it a whole one, basically. So anyway, we're going to get back to the field, and I will see you when we get there. Okie dokie. So let's get my thing on, just to make sure everything is working correctly. Open that up. And then it should be Y, if I'm right, for creating fields. Lower it down, and let's join these two suckers up. And just make it one big field. That's the first bit done. And then, I don't know why I reversed that way. I should have reversed the other way. We are going to bring it down. And then I think we'll do it in 2 halves. Join up. Just want to overlap a little bit to make sure that it is all joined up properly. But before we can plough the whole field, we are going to have to lime this field, because the top half needs liming, the bottom half needs ploughing. So we're probably best off just, well, to be honest, actually what we're probably best off doing is we'll just plough it, and then we'll cultivate the entire, we'll lime it and then cultivate the entire field. That's probably the best way to do it. Then we're not mucking about, because we've already got the plough on the tractor. And to be honest, it's not going to make much of a difference if we cultivate the lime in, if we plough it in. It's going to be pretty much the same deal. It's going to do the same job. Okay, so let's join these two up. Get a nice smooth joint. And that, if I'm not mistaken, should be pretty much good. We just need to go down one more time. Go down here. I do like this plough. It's not massive. 6 meters. Don't get me wrong. It's a good size. 6 meters is a good size, especially for subsoiler or a plough or whatever you want to call it. But I don't know. I just find it such a useful tool. This one. The other ploughs can be a bit funny to work with. They can be a bit awkward. But this one, because it's a straight bar, it's just so much easier to work with. It's so simple to use. And that is the 2 fields joined. Wonderful. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go around the headlands a couple of times with the plough, and then go up and down the middle of the field. We don't need create fields on now. Let's turn that off. I'm going to go up and down the headlands, around the headlands a couple of times, sorry. And then we'll go up and down the field, and we'll get this all ploughed up. And then we'll go get some lime, and then we'll get the whole thing cultivated so it is ready for seeding. So I'm going to go into a time lapse, and we'll see you when it's done. So guys, I've just had to break the time lapse there for a second. I don't know how I've mucked that up, but the cultivator requires 400 horsepower, and this tractor itself only does 3. If I'm right, it's a 290 horsepower tractor, so it is struggling with that cultivator a little bit. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to quickly run to the shop, see if I can upgrade the engine in this just to make it that little bit more powerful, and then we'll get back on the time lapse and crack on with the cultivating. See you in a second. Okay, so a little update on where we're up to here. So the tractor is too low horsepower for this cultivator. How I have managed to do that in the setup, I do not know. Not even got a faintest idea how I've done it. So if we have a look and go into the garage, this cultivator requires 400 horsepower, and our tractor is only a 210 horsepower tractor. We don't own a tractor that is powerful enough to pull this cultivator, so I don't know how I've managed to even remotely do that. So what we're going to do, I can't upgrade the tractor high enough to power this cultivator. I might be able to get it up high enough just to be able to pull it, you know, reasonably, but it doesn't seem worth it. I don't really want to change the tractor. I like the Massey, so what I think we're going to do is we're going to sell this cultivator, get rid of it, and then we're going to buy another one. Now, on the bright side, there is a mod that I downloaded a while ago, and it'll give us a chance to actually have a go at it. Now, I don't know how realistic this cultivator is. I'm not too sure. Where is it? Here it is. It's the Sopner. Sopner? I don't know how you pronounce it. But anyway, it's a 10-meter cultivator. It's quite a big one. I don't know how realistic they are. I don't know whether they're a real thing. I've never actually really checked. But it only requires 200 horsepower. Obviously, the pair of them is, 340 horsepower. But I'm pretty sure our tractor should be able to power the pair of them. At least I hope so. We'll find out. So we're going to buy these, and we're going to give it a go. Like I said, I don't know how realistic these cultivators are, but I am hoping that they are real, or at least based on a real cultivator. That is the hope and plan, because I don't particularly like using stuff that is not real. There we go, that's the first one. Oh, nearly knocked the other one over then. I don't particularly like using stuff that isn't real. I could have done my research in it first, really, but I just like the look of these. I do think they're pretty cool. They're very similar to the mowers. But I'm just hoping that we can run them and everything goes well. It's a bit more like a disc harrow. I'm not too sure, but if you do know, let me know in the comments down below if it is a real type of cultivator. I do like the movements on them as well, actually. That's pretty neat. Swings with the movement of the tractor. Pretty cool. So anyway, we're going to get back to the field, and then we'll get back into a time lapse and get the field finished off. that's all the groundwork done. And if I do say so myself, that is a good looking field. So much better as one field. And this cultivator was really, really good. It was really nice to use. Really impressed with it. I will do some research to see if it is an actual brand and if it's an actual cultivator, you know, a real life cultivator. Because if it is, we'll definitely be keeping it. If not, then we probably will change it for something that is a little more realistic. But on the other hand, it was nice to actually use it, whether it's real or not. It was very nice to experience it, and I do think it has done a really good job, and I really enjoyed using it. I'm not sure who the creator was. It was a while ago when I actually downloaded it, so I'm not too sure on that one. Now, we'll go and get the seeder. We'll get it filled up, and then we'll get on with doing the ploughing, seeding. I've just done the ploughing, don't want to do it again. Now after all the palaver we've had today. Yeah, we'll get the, well, it's not a seeder, the planter. Let's go get the planter. And then we will get some sunflowers planted in that field. I'm going to start moving the bigger equipment up here, out of the way. I do think it'd be better in this shed. I just think it'll be easier to organise in here. So, put that back on so I know what I'm doing. Got that there. And then we'll put this at the side of it. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm not too sure we're going to do for seed, so we may need a pallet of seed over there. So, what I'll do is I'll fill it up first. Lower it down. Don't want to do it. Help if I had it selected. Yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill up the seeder first. And then, if we start running low, I'll just jump across and pick up the New Holland. And we'll just run across the road with it. It'll be easier than bringing the seeder back. It's still half full. It's not too bad. Now, I know we don't have a sunflower header, so we are going to have to look into that. But, on the bright side, after selling that other cultivator and with how cheap them cultivators were, it has actually really boosted us money. We're up to 211,000. So, it may be possible for us to buy one, but I'm actually thinking maybe it might be worth buying a field with that money. Let's just see. Refill solar, yep. It may be possible for us to buy a field with the money we got off that cultivator. It would definitely be nice to do. Come on, you gonna do it? No? Don't want to? Really finicky, this seeder. It's not the easiest thing to do. See, it's opening up for refilling it, but ah, there we go, got it. Just hitting that trigger just right. You just got to get the sweet spot. There we go. I don't think we'll need a weight on this. Actually, saying that, you know what? Let's just double check. But I'm gonna make sure. That's 203, and the seeder or planter is 180. You know what? We're gonna switch over to the John Deere. We've used the Massey a lot today, and we've used the little Massey. The John Deere's feeling a little bit left out today. So we're going to go and get it, and we'll use that to seed the field with. Get it connected up. And we'll get it over to the field now. Yeah, the John Deere's just feeling a little left out today. It's not been used. I know we've not used the New Holland, but the New Holland's used to not being used. It does spend a lot of its life sat in the shed. But hopefully, if we do get some more animals, it will get a little bit more use. It's just because we don't have a lot of baling work, shall we say, and pallet work to do. It doesn't get as much use as it probably could. We may have needed a weight on this tractor. I never thought about it, but we'll find out. See what it's like when I pick it up. I can always run back across to the farm to get the weight. It'll only take 2 seconds, it's only across the road. Let's pick it up. Oh, gotta line that up a bit better. There we go. Right, so let's lower it down. We want sunflowers. Get some lovely bright yellow sunflowers in there. I'm gonna turn it on. Need to fold it first. Why is it not folded? Oh, there you go. Got to unfold it. That's the one. Lower it down and turn her on. And look at that, she's away. Plenty of power for this. Don't need any more. And to be honest, it's a really good sized seed planter. I keep calling it a seeder. Technically it is, but it's more. It is a planter. More than enough power in this old John Deere to pull this. It's a really good sized planter. The only thing I dislike about this is the seed capacity. I'm not sure if there is an expansion tank for it, and maybe I was supposed to check when we last used it. I actually forgot, so we will do that at some point. But that is the only thing I don't like about the seeder, is it has a very low capacity for the seeds. But again, like I said, if it does have an expansion tank, it won't be an issue. So we'll go around the headlands a couple of times, and then we'll go up and down in the middle as usual, the usual drill. And then hopefully this field will be done. And that's this field basically done. I hope you enjoyed that time lapse. I thought I'd put it on a worker and so you could get a different, can't get my words out, get a different view of the field being done. So the worker did run out of seed, that's why I stopped the time lapse there, and I continued with it myself because I had to take it and go and refill it. So the last portion of the field I did do myself off camera. There's just a little section up here that the worker missed. It's just a little tiny piece. Whereabouts is it? No, it's here somewhere. It's funny how you can see the tram lines from the previous crop where we did destroy it when we was fertilising. Yeah, just this little strip here that it missed. But yeah, no, I hope you enjoyed it. It was a bit different. The worker has cost us a little bit. It's cost us nearly £1,000. But hopefully it was worth it if you enjoyed the time lapse. There we go. That is job done. we now have a really nice field of sunflowers. Or at least it will be when it grows. At the moment, it's just a seeded bed. A load of dirt. Get hooked back up. I didn't unfold it, did I? Aren't I a numpty? Let's take 2 on that one. Let's hook up. And away we go back to the farm. Oh, don't want to drive across the seedbed. Couldn't see through the tree then. Get off it. Yeah, really happy with that. I think that field is so much better as one field without the divide in the middle. And hopefully that sunflower crop should net us a really nice profit. So, we've got 209,000 left. Obviously we need to keep a bit of money in the bank for if we need anything for an emergency, if we need seed, fertiliser, whatever it is that we may need in an emergency. But in the next episode, I'm thinking we will be looking for another field. We have a fair few fields, but they are all in close proximity of the farm. I do want to travel out a little bit, because the only travelling we ever seem to do is when we go to the shop. Which, don't get me wrong, it's fun going to the shop because it means we're buying something. But I do want to be looking around the map, doing other fields around the map. I don't want to just be staying within the proximity of the farm itself. We will be buying some more fields around the farm as the farm grows, but I do want a couple more that aren't literally on the doorstep, so that we can get a better view of the entire map, really. It's no fun just being stuck in the same place. Would help if I zoomed in a bit. It's no fun being stuck in the same place all the time. It's nice to get about and get around a little bit. The only thing that is a downside to it is the fact that you have to travel with equipment, and if you forget something, then obviously that is a bit of a nuisance. But the trick is there, don't forget something. Make sure you get everything before you set off. There we go. So that is that put away. Let's get the John Deere back in the shed where it belongs. It's pretty clean considering it's just been in the field doing field work. Not going to bother giving it a wash. It's got minor dirt on it. Get it back in here, and there we go. And that will do. So, yeah, in the next episode, we will look at buying another field. I'm not sure which one. I'll have a little look before we start the next episode, and then we'll make a decision from there. And we need to sell them eggs because they're starting to appear on the floor. Could do with another egg crate. But that's it for now, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, and we'll see you again soon. Bye for now.